might get some cats, but it's okay. Cats are like, meow.
You're like, meow.
Meow.
Alright, we're recording.
Yep, welcome to the BLT podcast.
Except
where,
T isn't here.
Except for it's just the BL podcast, so we need another nickname.
The Blue. Why is there a movie picture?
I don't know. I don't know whose room this used to be. But
yeah, Brandon's not here because he's a pooper.
Because he woke up late and he has to go to work today. We were supposed to do it last night.
We were going to record it last night.
But then we all got really drunk and everyone was tired.
I went swimming. And for some reason, I don't remember the end of the night.
So you said you only remember, like, getting into the couch, or you don't even remember that?
I remember, like, changing into dry clothes. But the thing is, like, I wasn't drinking at that point. I don't understand how I blacked out.
Maybe it just all came back.
And I had stopped drinking, like, a while before that.
I don't know. I was pretty high and tipsy, so I remember everything.
Well, I don't know. Like, I was drinking, and then I went for a swim. And
normally that
fine.
sobers you up.
Well, my thing is, like, I was completely fine for the whole swim. Changed into dry clothes. Wasn't drinking at that point. And then I think that it was, like, my mind didn't, so it transfers short-term to long-term memory. And I think that it just didn't transfer my, like, short-term memory. Like, once I went to bed, it was, like, in the middle of transferring stuff. And I was like, oh, fuck this. I'm going to bed.
It's like...
So it's like that last 5 minutes.
It's like, we could store this in his memory, but he's already asleep, so it means we're off.
This is pointless.
It's like, that means we're off.
He doesn't need to know that Daisha was trying to set up a podcast.
And then
Brandon, at him.
And then people came. Actually, a lot of people went up to you last night after you went to sleep and like try to wake you up.
Is that snoring?
I don't know. I just hear someone go. I was like, I'm pretty sure someone just hit Logan. I think it was Ryan. Ryan was like, "See, you can't wake him up."
That's not the first time that's happened to me.
I was just like, what is happening down there? I was up here. I was like, I'm tired.
Yeah, Lisa said she was going to record me, and she walked over to record me, and I was just glaring at her. And she screamed.
Oh, that's what she screamed. I was very confused.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm real tough to wake up.
Yeah, so yesterday, Ryan's sister had a wedding party, and Logan had an open house. We should read the text messages from the group chat.
Why?
Because it's funny.
Because Brandon being stupid?
Yeah. Since he's not here, you're going to make fun of him.
That's true, yeah. He is a big dumb.
Okay. So yesterday, or when did you texted me Friday, right?
Probably.
So I
work at a school, so we were doing an open house. And
he had something to do. So originally it was just going to be a me and Brandon podcast, because Brandon was coming to Oceanside. But, and then Logan texted us in the group chat and was like, what time are you guys doing the podcast on Saturday? And I was like, I don't know, because Brandon will be working, so we might end up doing the podcast super late. And by working, I meant he was here at the wedding party taking pictures, yes, which I thought Logan already knew.
I mean, I overheard you guys talking about it, but it's not like you give me details.
So, he's like, the thing I was doing in the evening got canceled, so I might be able to come down after the open house. And I was like, yeah, the podcast will be normal. But I was doing the speech talk, so it came out weird, so Logan said question mark.
Yeah, but then I'm so excited that all normal podcast. And then question mark, that it will be a normal podcast. Then Brandon was like, open house, you house hunting? Bing man?
I think he meant big man, but...
I think so too.
And then I said for school.
You're trying to find a house near the school? That's stupid. It's an open house for the school, idiot. You're gonna buy the school? Yeah, he just sold his first feature. I wish. Why are you ruining my fun? He wouldn't believe me. Doubt it. Now we'll never know. So no more house? I'm done with you. You guys are confusing. That's my Brandon voice. You guys are confusing.
Yeah, and then he comes here. So yesterday when he comes here, he's just like, house hunting. And I was like, I knew you were joking. I knew you actually knew what the fuck we were talking about. But who knows? We'll never know because he's not here to defend himself. We had a lot of great podcast material, but since Brandon's not here, it's all out the window.
I mean, that, and we were all also, like, very drunk.
And I also kind of don't remember most of them.
Yeah, no, we were
I remember one was, I think, San Fran. I think.
Probably.
And then... Oh, yeah, and then Brandon and Logan were about to fuck. That was great.
We were never about to fuck.
Brandon kept coming up to Logan and was like, "You gonna put it in the ass?" He's like, "Yeah." Brandon kept coming up to you. I love you. Brandon got real physical with Logan.
Everybody got drunk. And then I went for a swim. And I got all of the...
I didn't go for a swim.
I got all the glow sticks out of the pool and then Randy threw them all back in.
Brady was so aggressive yesterday. So funny.
Yeah, it was just in a good mood.
Yeah, it was great. We all had fun. Someone broke a finger.
That's how you know it's a party.
Yeah, it was a very successful party. Someone broke something.
Yeah, I was telling Lisa it was good enough to have a broken finger, not bad enough that it was that the cops were called.
Exactly.
Right in that sweet spot.
But
have you ever had the cops called on you?
I've been to a party where the cops have been called, but not on me, no. Oh, wait, no. There has been a time where the cops are called. My brothers, and then two of our friends came over. My mom went out. And we were in Mississippi. We lived in apartments. And me and my friend, all of us were, like, running down the hall and back. And so my mom was like, "Stop running. Like, they're going to call, like... my mom hated our downstairs neighbors anyways. She's like, I don't want to have to get into a fight. Like, she called us saying that. And then all of a sudden the cops came and we're like, fuck. And so we all, like, pretended to go to bed. Yep. And then we all went to sleep after that. That's the only time where the cops have been called. But
it was an apartment party where the cops got called.
It's always apartments.
Well, yeah, because they have neighbors through the wall.
The party that I went to where the cops got called, it was like a college party and there's alcohol. And then we heard that there was a fight breaking out. We're like, okay, the cops are about to get called. Let's go. So I called my mom. I was like, Mom!
Come on!
Come get us!
The cops are coming. Oh, dang it, I have to get in a fight.
No, she knew it was a college party by the looks of it because she's like, if there's alcohol, you guys better fucking call me. Yeah. My mom was a pretty cool mom. Everyone liked my mom. They're like, your mom is so cool.
Yeah, I'm sure they were. I'm sure they weren't like, your mom is so cool.
Yeah, for dropping us at a college party.
Yeah.
Dropping us up at a college party. That was my freshman year of high school.
So your mom was just throwing you to the wolves. All right, little Tati, be free.
And that's why my mom was yeah, that's why my mom was a cool mom. She took all these freshmen to a college party. I don't even remember how we got invited to that. I don't even know who knew about it. I mean, yeah, my friends had boobs. I didn't. Yeah,
sure. Didn't. Definitely not.
I was still pretty flat-chested in my freshman year of high school.
Oh, yeah. In your freshman year, yeah. Not all of high school.
No, I had boobs after, like, junior year. I think. I don't know.
Once I hit 18, they really came in.
Is it, like... Did you realize, like, in your teenage years when you hit puberty exactly? I guess for you it'd probably be easier because your voice changes.
I don't remember my voice changing. I don't remember noticing it. I know that when I was a freshman in high school, that was the first time because my dad was still...
You just made a whole bunch of people yawn.
Yeah. Yeah, a whole bunch of... all one person that's going to watch this.
San Fran.
Yeah, if she's still watching. But, I want to say that I was a freshman in high school. I think my dad was still working. Because my dad worked at a fishery in the town that I grew up in.
Of course.
But then when I was in like 6th grade, around there, my mom started being a nurse, so my dad ended up quitting.
Being a stay-at-home dad?
Kind of more that because he was an artist.
More like freelancing?
Yeah, so he was an artist, and he would just do stuff in his shop, and so he was just, like, working in the shop.
Okay.
But, so when I was
dirty.
in 9th grade, I started lifting after school.
Okay.
Lifting weights.
Like an after-school program?
Kind of. I just went to the gym went to the weight room after school. And I went from bench pressing 135 to bench pressing 185. And... people stopped messing with me as much.
So you got bullied.
I mean, of course I got bullied. I was a chubby little fucker.
Oh, that's true.
I got punched in the face every grade 7 through 10, I think.
Like, just square in the
At
face?
least once a year.
Did you always have a black eye then?
No, and I don't think I ever...
Did they just punch you, like, in the
like
face?
the side of the head.
Oh.
Like side of the head / face.
That's like a pussy move. Just...
Punching someone on the side of the head?
Yeah. Normally people punch, like... I would expect people to punch, like, dead in the face, like, at the nose or the eye.
No, you swing from the side. So, like, you're more
So it should be right here.
Yeah.
Not right here.
Well, it was, like, this general area.
That's crazy. I wouldn't expect you to get, like, punched in the face every year. Even kindergarten?
I said 7 through 10.
Oh, sorry. I didn't hear that part.
No, might have been 6th grade, too. 6th grade, I also rabbit punched somebody in the face, I think. Like, just kind of swing the fist, not an actual punch. So 7th grade, we were playing basketball, and the kid was fouling the shit out of me, so I started doing all of the stuff that he was doing to me. So he got upset, and he punched me in the face. And then I got really upset. And when I got really pissed, like livid, I would start crying.
Aww.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
I was pissed, but I'm not a very violent person, so I didn't hit him.
Which is weird, because he's really big.
How was that?
I would expect like someone like your size to get like mad, like start getting physical.
I get very mad. It's just I don't hit people.
I would expect you to just start hitting people.
Thanks. Yeah, well, so he punched me in the face
with all your strength.
Yeah, but that'd kill people.
I know, that's why I'm surprised. I
Um,
feel like Jessica Jones male style. I still need to watch second season. Anyways,
Luke
continue.
Cage.
Oh yeah, he has super strength too.
Yes. He's just a
I
super
don't watch.
strong guy.
I haven't seen Luke Cage. I've
Anyway,
only seen
I
him from
haven't watched-
Jessica.
I haven't watched any of them because I didn't have Netflix. But so, I got punched in the face and I was pissed, and he like started to walk away from me, and then I followed him and he punched me in the face again, and I was just like following him around as he was like punching me in the face.
Nice.
So he punched me in the face like 4 or 5 times, which I'm like thinking back.
Like, why did no teacher was like? I'm surprised no teacher was around me. Like, hey.
I mean, I can't remember because there was a teacher like the other end of the gym. I don't remember if she like stopped it to talk to us or whatever. But thinking back, that had to have been terrifying for a child to like haul out and punch somebody in the face and then to just follow you around.
It's true.
While you're like, I can't do anything. I keep punching you in the face, it does nothing. It's that moment in the movies where they shoot the guy and they're just like, alright, well, that didn't kill him, so,
Fuck, what do we do? Yeah, for me, it just never remember, like, a distinct moment where I was like, cool, finally hit puberty.
Well, yeah, but
it's like,
because I don't know if you did.
For females, it's so weird. Like, you think that...
Well, it's like, there is a distinct moment.
There is, but still in my head, I hadn't hit it after. I was like...
your first period.
Yeah, my sophomore year of high school. Yeah, I don't, like... In my mind, I still haven't hit... Like, it was, like, weird. It was, like, a weird moment.
You still haven't hit puberty?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying,
that's
like...
what you were saying.
I'm, like, saying, like, I don't remember a time when I started to develop boobs. That's what I'm saying. Like, that part of it... the only thing that I ever remember is, like, hitting my period. And then I remember just starting getting to boobs. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, because you don't remember something slowly growing.
That's true. And then I never grew, so same height. Since freshman year of high school, I've been the same height.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same weight.
No, I was under 100 pounds my freshman year. I didn't hit, like, the weight I am now until, like, my sophomore, junior year. Because I was dancing, so I was getting more muscles.
I didn't hit the weight I am now until I was, like, 25.
So you've stayed at the consistent weight for 5 years?
I mean, it fluctuates. I dropped down to 240 when I was in school and we were doing, like, really active stuff. And I, like, walked to and from school. But usually I'm around 275 now.
I'm still 120. Oh, one fun story that happened yesterday was, Logan decided to almost throw me into the pool. And I broke a nail. I broke another nail, but I don't remember how I did that. But I do remember that I got, when Ryan, thank God, came to help me, I realized that my nail was gone. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, you were scratchy.
Yes, because I don't like trying to be thrown. That's like my biggest fear of like being thrown. Like that's one reason why I don't like being picked up. Is because I'm scared someone's gonna throw me.
How is
I don't like being thrown.
Why I can understand not liking being thrown, but how is that your biggest fear? Like
I don't know because I'm like
there's just rampaging giants that walked around throwing.
Well, I don't know. I think it's just a fear for my brothers. Like, my brothers are all bigger than me. Or my brother is bigger than me. So he could just easily just start throwing me and it, like, hurt me. I don't know. I just have an irrational fear of being thrown. That's why I don't like being carried. Oh, my stomach still hurts. Yeah, so I was, like, screaming. I thought the cops were going to get called because of that. I was screaming so loud.
Nobody even really noticed.
No one cared except for Ryan. I was like, help! And there were so many people outside. It was very confusing. They were probably like, who the fuck is this chick? She hasn't been out here all day. Yeah, I was inside most of the party because I was sad.
Yeah, she was. Well,
my period had just started yesterday, so
wild emotional swings.
Yes. I think it's just like my period, and then also I got a new birth control in, so my body's just all over the place.
Yeah.
It's great. Love being a female. The funny thing is Ryan's friend Morgan came upstairs to come get me so I could meet someone downstairs, and she's like, did your period just start today? And I was like, yeah. She's like, ooh, that's the worst. And so I was like, yep.
When you came downstairs and you were like, I've been upstairs, I've been really emotional, in my head I was like, yeah, your period just started.
Yeah.
Clearly it's that time of the month. Because I will say that you have to understand that she wasn't, like, just sad. She came down and she was, like, laughing and then looking sad and then active. It wasn't just, like, I was kind of emotional. It was just all over the map.
It was pretty bad.
It was like, something hormonal going on.
Because here. I remember, so Ryan had left and I remember, like, feeling sad because I thought he was mad at me. And so I thought that's what it was. And then Ryan comes upstairs. He's like, I'm not mad at you. And, like, just after that, like, I try to go downstairs, and, like, someone would talk to me, and I just start crying. So I was like, cool, I gotta go back upstairs. And I was just like, it was so weird. I've never been that emotional before. Where it's just, like, someone just says a word to me, and I'm just like, downhill.
Here we go. The waterworks are coming.
So I just come upstairs and hang out with the cats, because the cats are stuck in Ryan's room.
The cats love me.
Yes. And then I would and then I would be fine. Like, I would, like, watch a YouTube video or two, and then Ryan would come upstairs, and then when he leaves again, I'd start crying again. But I would feel fine. I'm like, this is so weird. He's like, why are you, like, crying? I'm like, I don't know! He just kept asking me. He's like, why are you crying? I'm like, if I knew, I would tell you. He's like, I just want you to talk to me. I was like, I wish I could too, but I don't know what it is. It's very odd. So one topic I did want to bring up, I actually do have one thing. So
segues are weird.
Yeah. So you remember, so last time we recorded the podcast, I did want to bring up impatient people. So now I've had 2 instances where this has happened. So I went to Burger King before we filmed the last podcast.
Taking too long.
Shut up. And the lady in front of me was getting so angry. She's just like, oh my goodness. And she was like a businesswoman, and she was like, why is this taking so long? And it was like a lady in the front, and she was like honking and like yelling outside her window, and I'm like, can you calm? I was just sitting there like, what the fuck is happening? Like, why are people so impatient? Like, no one else was acting like this except for her.
In the line or in the drive-thru?
We're in the drive-thru. And she was getting like so impatient. We were only like waiting there for like maybe 5 minutes. And she was getting so impatient. And then, Friday, I went to Chick-fil-A for breakfast because I was hungry. And the lady in front of me got out of her car and walked to the front and was like, I guess she was just like, what's taking so long? Well, I don't know. But once she did that, like, the line started moving. And I'm like, this is the second impatient person I've had in a drive-thru. It's like, I think it's a curse now that every time I go to a drive-thru by myself, there's always going to be an impatient person in front of me.
And then nobody will ever believe you when you tell them the stories.
It's so weird, though. Have you ever had, like, impatient people, like, get super mad? And, like, it's like, why are you so impatient?
Well, because they need their stuff now.
It's
They
so
don't need
annoying.
to wait for other people.
I'm too privileged for that. They were both, like, really business type women. I'm like, ugh.
They needed to speak to the manager.
I need to speak with the manager. Have you ever, like, dealt with that in a fast food place? I think it's only a fast food place where I dealt with it.
I mean, like, there have been times, none specific that I can remember. Although something that reminded me of is, so one of the things that they talk about is that small dogs tend to be worse behaved than big dogs. And it's not because small dogs are inherently worse or inherently more angry dogs. It's because people don't see them as a threat, so they don't bother training them.
Yeah.
Which kind of reminded me of how society views women. Because I've only been in one physically abusive relationship in my life.
Oh, Ryan said one too, so that's fine.
You said he is in one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, wait, why? What? What relationship?
I was dating a Hispanic woman.
Oh, no.
Who would, every now and then, she'd be like, oh, one of these days I'm just going to beat you up. And we were driving our car, and...
Those are the crazy ones that beat you up when they're driving.
She said that, and I was like, if you ever hit me, I'd just laugh. So she punched me in the shoulder, so I started laughing. So she got more angry, punched me harder, so I started laughing harder. So she was just wailing on my shoulder while I laughed.
Did you have a good bruise?
No.
Oh. Do you bruise easy? I don't think you would.
Probably not.
I bruise super easy. So does Ryan. It's very bad.
And then there was another time where she was yelling at me outside of the barracks, and she threw her phone charger at me. And I, like, as she was yelling at me, I picked it up and gave it back to her. So she threw it at me again.
You'd be very bad at an abusive relationship. Just because you just laugh and you just make them more angry. Like, son of a bitch!
Why can't I get mad?
Why
can't I hurt you?
I just want you to feel pain! No, Ryan says it's an abusive relationship. He really isn't. There he is right now. I asked for more coffee. Upstairs.
Well, because it reminds me, the last time that I got punched in the face, that I was...
Ooh, nice. Nice crock.
It was, so I was like 24.
Okay.
Or 23.
Did she ever hit you in the face or no? Just in the shoulders?
I don't think so. If she had hit me in the face, I probably would have actually gotten mad.
Dang it. Now she knows.
Well, she's on the other side of the country, so it's fine. I have a tracking device on her.
I was like, oh, how do you know where she is?
My tracking device is called Baby.
Oh, that's who you get the baby with.
Yeah.
It would be that one.
I mean, I don't know. Something about Hispanic women. Which is weird, because I grew up in Alaska, so there was, like, never exposed to them until I went out, until I came down to the lower 48.
Because Hispanics know no cold, just hot. It's like, fuck the cold.
Oddly enough, a lot of Pacific Islanders in Alaska.
Yeah.
Which is like...
Because they're used to Hawaii, so they're like, I need a change. And they're big people. Like, they could handle it.
They can handle it. It's just weird that you go from, like, tropical island to Alaska.
Cold.
Yeah. It's like, there's no black people in Alaska.
No, fuck that. Black people are like, we're too cold. My stepdad, like, he used to live in Chicago, and now he lives here, like, in California. It will be, like, 60, and he's like, oh, it's cold. But he grew up in Chicago where it fucking snowed.
Why does your stepdad kind of sound like Mr. T in your impersonations?
You met my stepdad.
Yeah, he doesn't sound like Mr. T in real life, just in your impersonations.
No, like, in my head, that's what he sounds like.
Stepdad, cold! In my head, he also talks in the third person. But,
Cold baby.
Yeah. So, when I was 23...
Thank you, babe. You don't need to add more cream there.
He's not having fun, is he?
No, he does not like all of his family's here. That's why I'm trying to do this so I can go with him to do family stuff.
Yeah.
So that he's not super bored. Continue.
But when I was 23, we were coming back from deployment, and there was one part when we were coming back where we were all sitting around waiting for something, and one of the guys who kind of had an attitude and was kind of a douchebag, he had the, like, kind of fake gangster attitude. But he asked somebody to watch his rifle while he went to the bathroom or something like that, and the guy told him no. So he got mad, and then for the rest of the time, he was sitting there, and he was just, like, glaring at the guy, and he was just, like, talking shit. And it wasn't even, like, it was just nonsensical shit. And
I feel like Rashawn trying to talk shit.
Well, the one that I remember is he kept just being like, yeah, man, when we get back, you better walk the other way when you see me. Yeah, you better walk the other way when you see... And
I hate when people say that. It's like, shut up.
Over and over again. And I was like, dude, just shut the fuck up. I was like, oh, now his friend wants to talk. And I was like, Jesus Christ. So then after we got back, anytime he saw me, he would, like look at me and, like, mumble shit under his breath.
I would have been like, speak up so I can hear you.
Well, we were at a, like...
You're like, here's where the story's going.
Yeah, we were at, like, a douchey... bar crawl.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually Barstool, like the Barstool Sports, I think.
Oh, okay.
They did Barstool Blackout,
nice.
Which was like douchey kind of fake rave, which was actually where the picture with the woman on each shoulder came from.
Oh.
Yeah, it was that night. But and he was the one that ruined my night.
Aww.
But I was standing on the other side of a low railing, and he was walking by, and he was mumbling shit. And I said, shut the fuck up, you puddly ass bitch. And he punched me in the face, and I laughed at him. And then our friends were like, oh, separate. I was like, dude, I'm fine. I'm completely fine. Like, I wasn't mad at all.
Did it, like, hurt at all? You were just like, okay.
I don't remember it hurting. Like, I was drunk, so that dulls your pain senses and stuff like that. But yeah, so he punched me in the face, like, cold cocked me in the face, and I just laughed at him.
Thank you, love.
It's fine. We love you, Ryan.
Love you.
But
it's super hot.
But he was actually the one that ruined that night for me, because I had a friend who invited 2 girls from back home. Mm-hmm. So they came down to go to that event with us. Mm-hmm. And because it was a big group of people that went. We had just gotten back from deployment, so everybody was like, yeah, we can fucking go and cut loose.
Yeah.
But, so his 2 female friends from back home, and they were both tiny. And I took 4 of the, like, long, thin glow sticks, made them into a circle, twisted it so that it was a figure 8, and they were both wearing, like, a see-through top over a normal top. And they put it between their 2 tops, so they had the, like... figure 8 outlining their boobs. Mm-hmm. And then she gave me a hug to thank me, and she did I think she just gave me a hug, and then the friend wanted one as well, so I made one for her, and she did the typical chick thing where she, like, wrapped her legs around. I was like, you are so light. So I, like, put her down, and then I, like, lifted her above my head, like, you're tiny. So then me and her were hanging out for most of the night. Mm-hmm. And putting her on my shoulders, making out, blah, 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 blah. And then towards the end of the night when we were leaving, I was leaving with that group. And I saw that same guy. Like, he and I made eye contact across, like, over a group of people. And I saw him, like, get mad. And I was like, oh, he's going to run over here, and he's going to try and hit me. And I'm going to get separated from this girl. And, like, it's just going to ruin my night. And sure enough, he started, like, running around his group of friends. I was like, God damn it, dude. And he tried to hit me, and we ended up getting separated. And I got separated from that group. Never saw that chick again. I was like, you motherfucker. Actually, because we were staying I'm pretty sure we were staying at the same hotel. And the hotel had a big open area that went all the way down, so you could, like, see the balconies where the rooms were. So I was leaning out, watching to see if I could
find her.
Yeah. And I was doing that for a while.
Lost crossed lovers. Star-crossed lovers?
Something like that. I don't know. I think star-crossed lovers is a little bit more apt for me and San Fran.
Well, in this story, it was her. But now...
But, so the other thing is that I was sitting there for a while, didn't see her, and in frustration I actually kneed the railing, like hit it with my knee, and put a small hole in the drywall of the railing.
So strong. Oh my goodness. It would take so much energy for me to, like, put any hole into anything. Like...
It's easier than you think, especially with your knee. Big old
Wow,
hard spot.
that's true. Yeah.
Our school actually had to... It was in like 9th or 10th grade. They actually put plywood over the walls. They, like, added plywood onto the walls because people kept breaking the drywall.
Smart.
There was one time where, when I was in middle school, our high school and our middle school were part of the same building, and they were linked by the cafeteria. Mm-hmm. So, and then only the high school had a theater. So anytime the middle school wanted to do stuff, they'd go to the theater. So our class was going to the theater, and we were walking past the cafeteria, and there was a kid who was 2 years older than us, so he was 10th grade-ish, and he was talking to somebody, and he had his Pepsi Blue. I'll always remember that. His Pepsi Blue sitting on a trash can on the other side of the hall from him. And one of the kids, as we were walking by, swiped it. So then after we got done walking by, I just remember him being like, "Hey, who the fuck took my Pepsi?" And he punched a hole in one wall, hopped across, and punched a hole in the other wall.
It sounds like a dance, like, hop.
Pretty much. Just, hop, and then there was a, like, I don't know what her official job was, but she was like a janitor.
Yeah, like a monitor.
She was, like, facilities.
Yeah.
She was walking up behind him as he did. She was like, "Charlie, what are you doing?
Stop it!
Stop punching a hole." And then there was another time.
It's not a music video.
Yeah, there was one time where some kids were roughhousing, and one, like, jumped on the other one's back, and they ended up he, like, slammed him into a wall. And they
it sounds like your school was like a wrestling school.
They put a hole that was, like, 2 foot by, like, 3 foot in the wall.
Oh my goodness. So Logan went to a school where they were training to be wrestlers.
I mean, we did have a wrestling team. Our school was, I don't know. I didn't think that it was odd at the time. It was just kind of like, yeah, this is how things are. But then I tell school stories, and some people are like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. I guess Alaska school was like, there's nothing to do but to roughhouse, I guess. Like,
I mean,
they just have...
It's random things. It's not just roughhousing. But,
pent-up energy from being in Alaska.
Like, we used to go... So there was an hour between school letting out and wrestling starting. And there were some days where we would go down to the store that didn't have cameras and steal candy. That's what we did with our hour. Specifically when I was a senior, we would make a freshman do it.
That was like they're hazing.
It wasn't necessarily hazing. It was just that one kid was really good at stealing candy.
Oh.
He would do, like, the full-on, like, tuck his jacket into his pants. That kid stole a box of Bubblicious. Like,
impressive.
Yeah, it was like candy aisle where they have the boxes that they open and then you buy, like, a pack. He took a full box and put it into his jacket. He had it in his locker at school for, like, months, where he would just give people gum whenever.
That's, like, a way to, like, sell stuff. Be like, "You want some 50 cents?
Dude, I remember, especially when I was, like, a senior, I would go down, get, like, an 85-cent Safeway Select 2-liter of soda, and then I would just drink that in a day.
That's insane.
Yeah, that would just be in my locker, and I would just drink a 2-liter of
just take
orange
class.
soda.
And...
What other stories? My sister had a friend who, for some reason, put a tape player with Chinese opera, and he turned it on in his locker and closed his locker and then just sat there when the period was changing, so he was just watching people react to the fact that he had Chinese opera coming out of his locker.
So interesting. I don't have, like, any interesting stories like that. I have one my freshman year. These girls tried to beat me up one time, but I didn't show up. They were cute. I don't understand. Like, I wasn't a threat. Like, you see how small I am. It was like my freshman year, And it was in PE, and these girls just started, like, being mean to me for no reason. Like, I didn't say anything. Like, I wasn't, like, my freshman year, I was super shy. I didn't smart mouth anyone. Like, I was that nerd kid. Like, and I hung out with, like, the nerd group. So, if I would have gotten into a fight, I would have had no backup. But, like, they were like, yeah, it's like, meet me at the bus stop, blah, blah. I was like, what?
You're like, no.
Like, why?
Meet you somewhere so you can beat me up? No.
And it was, like, a really, like, chunky girl, and, like, and then her friends were, like, the mean, pretty girls. And then one of them actually works at the Starbucks in the town that my mom lives in. She works at the Starbucks. I'm like, ha. But, like, I was, like, everyone always asks me, like, what'd you do? I'm like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know when they started bullying me. They just started.
One of the interesting things about
people are like, because you're pretty. I'm like, okay.
You're like, what?
What?
Have you seen me?
Yeah.
One of the interesting things at my high school, though, is that there were no preps.
Oh, there's always preps at my schools.
Yeah. Our town actually hated preps and referred to them as Abercrombies. And there were a couple stories of them coming across the peninsula to go to parties and then getting into fights with people from our town. Specifically, there was one where they said a group of people came from across the peninsula to go to and like went to a party, and they like let the women into the party, and then they were like, no, sorry guys. And then there was another one when I was in 10th grade where they were at the party and then a fight broke out. Or I think it was probably in 11th grade at that point. Maybe I was a senior. But, no, it was at least 11th grade, because one of the guys in the class above me tried to break a bottle over someone's head, but it didn't break.
That awkward moment just,
well, he was a kind of goofy kid, so it just matched. But he was just...
I feel like Ryan trying to do that.
Yeah. That was the kid that one of the homecoming dances that I went to, I spent a portion of it sitting there talking with him about what drugs you would use to trip off the light show. So like, what do you like? What drugs do you think? It's like, oh well, if you did this one, it'd be great. This one,
so a normal conversation for us now.
Yeah. But so yeah, they like kicked the kids out of the party, and then somebody dented in their door of their truck, and they were like throwing beer bottles at their truck as they were driving away.
Does high school like kind of just merge all together for you? I can't, like, remember, but, like, I can remember, like, certain moments, but I don't remember, like, what grade I was in. It kind of just all blends together. Like, obviously, I remember, like, my freshman year, because I was in California. But, like, my sophomore and junior year, I was in Kansas, so I have no idea. It just merges together. And my senior year, I was in Japan.
For me, it's context clues. Like, when I was talking about that party, I know that two of the guys who got into the fight were 2 grades below me. And the guy who did the beer bottle was 1 grade above me, so it had to have been 11th grade.
Yeah, okay.
And then for wrestling, I knew it was senior year because I only wrestled junior and senior, and the kid that we got to do it was one of my freshmen.
Yeah.
He was actually the freshman that I trained.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Train him in the wrestling room and...
No, I didn't train him in the wrestling room. I just trained him not to be a shitter. And I did it I was like 190 pounds, and he was like 115. So anytime he talked shit to me, I would just chase him down,
nice.
Wrap him up, and then like punch him in the back a few times. But after the wrestling season was over, he stopped being a shitter. I also lifted a kid up by his neck once.
Nice.
We were wrestling, because there was a kid who was like 150 pounds or something like that, and I was 190. He was a better technical wrestler, and he was more flexible, but I was just way more and stronger. So we would wrestle because it was usually we'd go to a stalemate, like we couldn't pin each other. And there was one time where we were wrestling in like a cafeteria area that had linoleum floors, and he got me in a move where my arm was behind his back, and he put his weight into my shoulder, so it forced me to my knees on a hard like linoleum floor.
Ow.
And I was like, you motherfucker, like... Didn't even think about you fucking douchebag. So I stood up, and with my arm behind his back, pulled him all the way around into a guillotine, and then lifted him up by his neck.
Oh my goodness, so aggressive.
Yeah, that was the same kid that I punched in both kidneys at the same time and dropped him to the floor. I get into a kidney punching phase when I was in high school.
Obviously.
Yeah, like 11th, 12th grade.
I hate
Got really into
hangnails.
kidney punches.
Hate hangnails.
You okay?
No, I just want to peel it off.
So why don't you just grab clippers?
Because they're all the way in the bathroom. I'll do it later.
All the way in the bathroom. It's right there.
Do you ever get ingrown hairs?
Yes, of course I get ingrown hairs.
Do you pick at them?
Not usually. I just get
when I'm in the
tweezers
car
and pull them out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. When I'm in the car, like when we went to my graduation, I was like, God dang it, I should have brought tweezers. I could pick all these ingrown hairs. Because I was just staring at my leg like, just like trying to get all of them, but I couldn't. I was so angry. I was like, dang it. So I just want to get all of them. I have so many on my knees. On both legs. It's so weird.
I only notice when they get red.
Oh no, mine never get red.
I don't even know if they look like if they're not red.
Oh, me and my best friend, that would be what me and my best friend would do, Kristen. We'd sit there for hours and picking at our ingrown hairs.
That's weird.
We were very weird our junior year. Like, because that's when we became best friends junior year. But...
See, context clues.
Well, I knew, because my sophomore year, I was, depressed because of my friends. Because they weren't actually my friends. Like, they just hang out with me to use me.
I want to make, I wrote a rhyming children's book once. That was about a monkey who was being a dick to a zebra. And then they had to go out on the savannah to find a watering hole because the watering hole in their areas were dried up. Mm-hmm. And the zebra was across the watering hole from them. And the zebra, because the monkey was a dick, didn't tell the monkey that there was a lion behind him. The theme of that one being don't be a dick to strangers, but I wanted to do a series of children's books about things like that. I'd call I'd call it Real Talk Kids Books, and one of them was going to be Your Friends Are Not Your Friends.
Yeah, I realized my sophomore year that they, like, because these friends I had my middle school, because I was in Kansas in my middle school, and then I realized my sophomore year that they were just using me to, like,
Before.
I don't know. I don't know if I noticed in middle school, but I knew in middle school that they didn't seem like my friends, but I was like, well, these are the only girls that I know.
Then what were they using you for?
One of them would come over to my house just so she could go to her boyfriend's house. But she'd use me as an excuse.
Yeah.
She got me into a lot of trouble. And then the other ones were just using me. They were only my friends because I was friends with one girl who would come over just go to her boyfriend's house. Mm. So they were friends with her, but not me.
Gotcha.
So I have a lot of, like, Facebook stuff of, like, hanging out with them, and I'm like, none of them even talk to me anymore.
Yeah.
But
that makes sense.
But me and Kristen became friends because we went to a sleepover. I call her my wife. We went to a sleepover, and then we, like, became closer there. She's like that. She was like the weird emo girl. Like, she was like the weird. She looked like a total bitch and like totally mean. But then we get to know her, and she's like the sweetest thing in the world, and she's great. She always has my back. I just recently gave her money.
Ooh.
Because she's having problems.
You want to see an interesting little bit of Alaskan vernacular that we can't talk about on the air?
Who's this from?
This is from one of my best friends growing up, who, there was 3 of us in our neighborhood that were all in the same grade. Mm-hmm. So I was friends with this dude from, I don't know, when I was like 3, maybe before that, up until I left Alaska, not like 19.
Yeah.
But we were talking, he messaged me, and we were talking about, how's life, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And he was like, lots of good jobs I currently have, lots of possible future jobs. I mean, I lost everything and I'm starting from the ground up because his
wife took everything, his ex-wife.
No,
dang it.
He had a fishing license that supposedly his family somehow got from him. He said basically stole it from him, but I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you only know his side.
Yeah, he said his little brother's a meth head.
Sounds like my ex.
Yeah, he was dating a woman who has 2 of his kids, and I guess they stopped dating. But, and then at the end he said...
No.
I mean...
No, that's not okay.
For reference,
If you're about to tell me he's like a quarter black, no.
No.
Okay.
I was just going to say the fact that, so when I was, especially in high school and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
there were no black people
Yeah,
in the
because
area.
fuck the cold.
Yeah, so, like, in high school...
So you guys just were just saying that word, not giving any fucks.
Yeah, the N-word, because, I mean, it was a swear word to us. It wasn't, like... We couldn't be racist against people who weren't there.
You were like, no, none of them are here, so it's fine.
Well, it wasn't even about, like... It wasn't even about the fact that it was against a group. It was just a swear word.
Yeah, but if you were to say that here, I'd be like, who the fuck just said that?
What?
Whole gang of black guys. Where the fuck?
You just hear, like, scurrying. No.
You just hear cars come in.
What was it? Oh, one of the scary movies. There was a part where their aliens came down and it was like, the hood will defend us. Or they were like, don't worry, the hood's here. And like a bunch of people rolled up. And I found out later that in the movie it was the Wu-Tang Clan. Where it was just all the members of the Wu-Tang Clan in that movie played the hood.
And then they dipped out, didn't they? They were like, fuck this shit.
I would assume at some point.
I don't know. There was something else I was going to talk about. Oh, my graduation party was fun. It's really interesting. You were like done with it. You were like, I'm done playing Monopoly here.
What are you talking about?
Oh no, you won, yeah. It was, who was it that was like, okay, I'm out? Oh, it was Ryan. Yeah, Ryan was like, cool, I'm done.
I don't know why Levi kept it going.
Levi's like, oh!
Yeah, for reference, our friend Levi was like loaning people money to try and keep them in the game. His wife was like, I think that this game is over. And it's like, you got this. You can win. I had $9,000 in just $500 bills.
Levi was trying to make sure.
You can do this. It's like, no, she can't.
Levi was trying to set a good example for his kids. Like, no matter how far deep you are. Levi cracks me up.
It's like at a certain point, it's like, dude, we've been playing this for so long.
We should have done D&D instead.
D&D? Well, if you'd fucking told me.
I didn't think that at one, because I realized after I changed the party and texted Levi, he was just like, okay. I was like, oh wait, it's gonna be Saturday. I was like, are they even gonna come? Because of their religion.
Yeah,
Sabbath. And then they ended up, he's like, we're not working or paying anyone, so we're good. No. I was like, okay. So then I was like, fuck, we could have totally done D&D. Yeah. It would have been way more fun than playing Monopoly.
That's your
But I didn't bring any of my D&D stuff. I didn't even bring my laptop. I was like, damn it. We could have played with Adam. That would have been fun.
Yeah.
Dang it. Next time.
If only you ever thought of things.
I actually thought about it the night before.
Oh yeah, and then we were supposed to record the podcast.
But I forgot my SD cards. Yeah, it was great.
You're still shooting 50%.
Hey,
we're just going to have to keep doing it at Ryan's house, because then he has everything all the time.
Well, I'm just going to start leaving my stuff here, because I'm never going to come to your house after work to do it. That's not going to happen.
Why don't you just move here?
But then, technically all my clothes are already here.
What do you mean? That's not technically.
No, all my clothes are
here.
here. So yes, I live here. Yes, except all my mail still goes to my mom's house. She texted me yesterday. She's like, "You have tons of cards here," and I'm like, "Okay, LOL." So, yeah, all my stuff is here basically. But when me and Brandon,
live with your boyfriend's mom.
Yeah. I'm gonna find a new place once I get to see how much my check is next week. I get my first full check next week.
Well, how much are you making?
I make $14 for 8 hours, and then the 2 hours that from 8 to 12 hours, I get overtime of $24, and I work 10-hour days. So
it's weird overtime.
And then after 12 hours, it's $28. It really is. It's kind of weird, but.
Well, what hours are you working? I mean,
10 hours.
Good overtime. They just add $10. That's not overtime. It's supposed to work.
Well. Every week I'm working like 50 hours. So.
That's not that bad.
Yeah. So next week I'm getting my first full check because I worked my first full week. So I'll have a good estimate of how much I'm making. I can actually look for an apartment for me and Brandon. So if you want to come, there's a lot of 3-bedrooms.
I've thought about it. The problem is you guys are... You'd just be too far away from Hollywood and Burbank and all that.
You just drive with me. It's fine.
Yeah, but you go to Santa Monica.
Yeah, and then you could take an Uber. There's trains. Take the train station. There's trains in Santa Monica where I work.
That sounds like a whole lot of work.
Oh my goodness, you fucking lazy bum.
Lazy bum? I don't want to take an hour to get to work.
Technically, the school is only like 30 minutes away from my job.
From your job?
Yes. So if you come with me...
So if I took the... How long does it take you to get to your job? How long do you think it would take you to get to your job from where you guys are looking at?
Hour and a half.
So
I don't mind it.
Yeah, so after the
if I
hour
drive,
yeah,
you could sleep.
Hour and a half drive to then do 30 minutes versus...
You could write in that time.
I couldn't.
Yeah, you could.
No, I couldn't.
Yes,
I'm saying, like, technically I could, but it wouldn't happen.
Well, once me and Brandon get our own place, you're going to have to come to our place and you'll do the podcast. And we'll actually have a podcast set up.
That's fine.
I told Ryan, I was like, we're going to have a round table. It's just going to be for the podcast. It's going to be set up all the time.
I can never lose anything. Then I'll just be missing batteries half the time.
No. We won't be missing batteries.
That's fine, because it'll only be like an hour and a half.
And then you can stay the night. And sleep on the couch.
Yeah. And
or with Brandon.
Drive all the way down to fucking San Diego. I hate driving so much. Where I was in Alaska, or where I grew up in Alaska.
You had to drive all the time, huh? Because you guys lived like super far.
My school was 32 miles away from my home. Do you know how long it took us to drive there in the morning?
Hour and a half?
30 minutes.
Oh.
32 miles in 30 minutes.
Yeah. Here, it's like, it's so weird because when I'm driving to, like, work, I know when I'm in LA because they'll be like, you're 30 miles away, but you still have an hour and a half. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, how does this add up? Because, like, on my drive up there, it's like every minute's a mile until I hit LA. Then it's like, cool, you got 30 miles, you still got an hour and 30 minutes to drive.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. That's the only reason why I don't like it. It's driving this far of a distance because I know when I hit LA. And I'm like...
My thing is, like, I don't mind driving. Like...
You just don't like how long it takes for the certain miles?
Yeah, I don't mind driving... Like, driving to San Diego, 5-hour drive. Or not San Diego, San Francisco, 5-hour drive. But
you're also going super far, so it makes sense.
Well, it's 5-hour drive, but it makes sense. And then also, every now and then you might get stuck behind somebody, but for the most part, you're moving. There's no, like, stopped traffic.
And in LA, it's only stopped traffic.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
On, like, midday on the weekends. And it's like, why the fuck is there so much
traffic? Well, now
there's,
like, traffic in San Diego now because the county fair opened in San Diego. So Ryan's like, why are there so many people out? I was like, this isn't going to be how it is all summer because the county fair is open, so everyone's trying to go to it. So there's no stopping of the traffic. It's like, oh, yay, the weekend, there's going to be no traffic. Nope, everyone's going to the county fair.
Well, I mean, it was like months ago when I came down here, it was like a 3-hour drive at like Saturday at 2 p.m.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck is this? That's why, whenever I get my production company, we're putting it in Austin.
Okay.
Yeah. And you guys
can we have are you gonna have a post house, like, extension too? Cool. Well, me and Ryan already want to go to Texas, so
yeah,
we're just waiting.
Another thing that I want to do is I want to, because I think that would be interesting, is...
we could have a podcast set up in the production company.
Yeah. And San Francisco is going to be my COO. I'm going to make her be my COO.
Like, so, we don't have to be friends, but you're going to be my CEO.
We'll have lots of closed-door meetings.
That will come and bite you in the ass later.
Maybe it will.
It'll be Brandon. Eat those raisin cakes.
Who was I talking to? I think I was talking to Misty about Brandon. I was like, he's the one that always talks about eating butt. And she was like... I was like worried there was going to be a child there.
No. Just the wind.
Yeah, I was like, his friend had a life-changing experience, and she was like, was it E. coli? Is that his life-changing experience? Yeah, Brandon's not here, so we have to talk about eating butt at least once.
Yeah, we do. Okay, so...
But one of the things that I want to do is, I would have a writer's room to just work on projects that weren't even necessarily in production.
Yeah.
And then I would also...
You could totally open a production company in Texas now.
Yeah. Well,
because it's super cheap over there.
Yeah, but we also need
Also
some way
need
to make
live.
money.
Yeah, that's true.
The other thing that I would want to do...
Just use Rashawn as an investor.
I wish, dude. But the other thing that I would want to do...
He has his own investment company. That's how he pays for everything for Fisher Madison. So, I mean, technically he could. You just wouldn't be like, so we need... Well, and you would have to, like, loop him in because, you know, he'd ask a ton of questions.
Yeah.
So it would be like, basically it was a part of it, and it'd be like, ugh.
Yeah, but if San Fran was my COO, then I could just be like, hey, just go talk to her.
That's true.
Yeah.
I feel like she'd be pretty good at being like, hey, this is what we need. You're going to give it to us.
Yeah, she's like an actual business person.
Yeah. This is why you're going to give it to us. No more questions asked.
Yeah, but one of the things that I want to do is have a camera team that you just pay, like they're just on staff. And then when they aren't working on things, I would just have them work on projects to just get better as a camera team. So it's just like, all right, you're gonna study the way that the one that came to mind specifically was David Fincher.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was him, but he has very difficult camera moves where he'll be like.
Yeah, it's David Fincher.
Yeah, so like even if somebody's just leaning forward, that person will stay in the exact same place in the frame as they lean forward. Mm-hmm. So it's like, all right, you're gonna learn.
Well, you already have Brandon and Ryan. They'd be pretty good at just.
They
studying.
probably would love that.
They'd be like, yes, we're getting paid to do this.
It's like, all right, guys, go down to because I would also have like a stage somewhere. It's like, all right, go down to the stage and recreate this.
They'd love it.
Yeah.
And then I could just do post-production stuff. That'd be great. Mm-hmm. I'd love it. Mm-hmm. So eventually we'll be in Texas.
Yep.
Future goals, Texas.
Yep. And then one of the things that I want to do with the writer's room is just like make projects and then people in the writer's room. Can
Adam also be in the writer's room? Can Adam be a part of it?
Maybe.
Adam comes up with some weird concepts.
But one of the things that I would do with the writer's room is like if any of those projects got picked up, then he'd be like, all right, you go show run that project. Go off and make a whole bunch of money.
Don't have Adam show run anything. That'd be bad. It would end very badly.
I mean, that's part of what the writer's room would be is
just have him write. Don't ever give him a project to write.
I feel like based on your description, he would just be an idea person.
No, he can write really good scripts. The only problem is his writing's like, we need to find him a script doctor that would try to actually make it more like readable, I guess. He like writes good scripts. It's just like some things it's like you gotta hone in on some things, and he's not the best at that.
You realize that I've done that for people.
Yeah.
That's why I have a screenwriting credit on a feature film.
Ooh.
I mean, it was a student, very questionable feature film that had a lot of plot holes, but
the Shell?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean,
when we were in film school, there was a student who wanted to do a feature film for a thesis. He was ESL, which is English Second Language. He was originally from China.
I was like, why are you explaining this? And I forgot we were filming.
Yeah. He was originally from China. His parents were footing the money. They were giving him like $40,000 to make this movie. Mm-hmm. But the script, because English wasn't his first language, the script was pretty bad. Just even legibility wise. So I went through and I redid all of the action lines, and then I went and redid all of the dialogue and actually pulled the N-word out of his script.
That's good.
He needed to make a character kind of douchey, so he's like, I was like, there's other ways that you can do that.
It's like, let's not use the N-word. I mean.
So yeah, I've done that for people.
Maybe one day when Adam actually starts writing more.
Yeah. See this?
Well, I don't know.
These are my friends. They don't even tell me when they're working on actual things.
Hey, we're working on actual things. Actually, recently, no, we don't know when we're doing the second episode, so for Levi's thing. But getting DIT credit, script supervised credit, because I can't get editor credit, but whatever. Actually, I had no idea who's editing it, but whatever. Yeah. I can't wait to finish this documentary for Adam, though. He texted me, I want to say either this morning, really early, and was like, nice, I'll watch it and send notes. I'll watch it today. I'll say, okay. I need Ryan to watch it, though. He's helped me a lot on it, because I can't. Me and documentaries, just, definitely with this one. It's just
Fucking
all
Ryan
over.
Documentaries.
It's great. It's just, like, I don't know. Like, he helped so much. Like, I did such a bad audio rough cut, and he's like, okay, this is what you gotta do. And it sounds so much better now.
Yeah, of course
I'm like,
he helps
thank
you.
God.
Versus me, where it's like, yeah, the audio's all gone.
Well, you're not a cute girl, so.
That's true. I don't put out.
No.
I'm also not a cat. Those are the only two ways to get Ryan to do anything.
Yeah. You gotta be a cat or a cute girl. Who puts out, apparently.
What do you mean, apparently?
But. I'm so excited to go camping next weekend. With Bella.
Why? Why are you excited?
Because Bella's coming. My dog. The puppy. She's gonna have so much fun. Just gonna be so excited to be outside. And also we're doing acid.
Bury the lead a little bit.
And also, yeah. It's gonna be fun.
There's no way that goes
I told him, I just like, you better not have anything planned for next weekend. We're doing this next weekend. He's like, but what if I get a job? I'm like, you better be getting more than $800 because that's your guys' lowest package. I'm like, guys, we better getting paid more than $800. First I said 100, and he's like, oh, that would be easy because our lowest package is 800. Like, fine, that's a new number since you want to be difficult. I almost said 1,000. I was like, you better be getting paid more than 1,000 to cancel our camping trip.
Yeah.
Because we've been trying to do this for like weeks now. But then I've got the job, and then graduation, wedding. And then next weekend we're going to Kansas. We might have to do the podcast on 4th of July.
I won't be here.
You're gonna go to Alaska. When are you going to Alaska?
The 1st.
Okay.
I'm going home 1st to the 10th. Which
Then
will
maybe
also be awkward because San Fran's gonna be in Alaska at the same time.
I love how she's just somehow in the same area as you, like, all the time. It's very interesting.
Well,
I know it's before her job, but...
No, she's from Alaska.
Oh, is she?
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't look like she'd be from Alaska. She's super pretty.
Wow. Racist.
Yes.
Which was one of the things that her husband found oddly coincidental.
I bet.
You know, it's like, I'm not going there just to see you. But yeah.
I mean, so we might have to do it before you leave. So when we come back from our camping trip, maybe that Sunday, we'll figure it out. Anyway, we'll figure out when we'll do the podcast. Maybe we'll braid it. We'll be a part of it again. Because we're leaving the 6th to go to Kansas. So I'm going to Kansas for 2 days. And then coming back. I'm super excited to go see everyone. My brother texted me yesterday.
Why would you be excited to be in Kansas?
Because my family's there. My best friend.
Kansas is my least favorite state.
And it's mine too, but my family's there. I wish they would move.
If we had any viewers, then I would know that this would be polarizing. But Kansas is least favorite.
Kansas is my least favorite place, except my family's there.
Loved. Also, Wyoming is kind of dickish.
I hate Mississippi. Mississippi's not my favorite.
Well, Mississippi also dislikes you.
Yes, that's why I don't like it. I lived there, and we got so many dirty looks. Because our mom was super pale, and she had all tan kids.
Tan.
All dark kids.
Yeah.
Well, my brother, who's now in the Air Force, he's, like, a little lighter. But me and Keyshawn, super dark. We were super tan. Like, me and my little brother who currently lives with my mom, we were like, the darkest ones out of everyone. It was like Keyshawn, me, my brother, my mom. That's how the rainbow went.
Grayscale.
Grayscale.
Yeah.
And then my stepdad joined us.
That threw the curve off quite a bit.
Yeah, because Keyshawn wasn't that dark. No. But, it's just, yeah, I hated it so much. We got so many dirty looks.
I used to work with a guy who was Haitian. And great dude, awesome, great attitude, could not gain weight to save his fucking life.
Asian and what? Asian and...
No. Haiti. He was from Haiti.
Ah,
Haitian.
Got it. Yes, couldn't gain weight. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not like making up some new. He's
I
not
thought
like
you
he was
were.
Blasian. No. But he had like weirdly broad shoulders for the fact that he was like 110 pounds. Yeah, broad shoulders, skinny as fuck,
That's
could
weird.
not gain muscle. And
one of the darkest people I've ever met.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the only way you could tell that he was present in the dark was if he smiled. All right.
This has been the BLT podcast.
Yeah, on that note.
Follow us on Instagram, which we never post on, and follow us on Twitter, which I occasionally post on.
Yeah, blame our producer for...
I'm not good on Instagram. If one of you wants to take it over, that'd be great.
Brandon loves Instagram.
I know. He needs, once he gets these pictures edited, he can take over the Instagram.
Yeah.
Let us know some topics you guys want to hear about. We're on SoundCloud and YouTube, so...
Not
see you guys
like
in... Oh, and we also changed the format to every other week, because I'm busy, and I don't have time to edit.
She doesn't have time to listen to us ramble for an
No,
hour.
I don't. So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Maybe.
Maybe with Brandon, we'll see.
Yeah, maybe with me, we'll see.
Maybe it'll just be an L podcast with the cats. Meow.
Just you rambling for an hour with the cats.
Okay, see you guys in 2 weeks.